Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Cambridge English Walking Podcast. Whether you are listening to us while drinking your very first cup of coffee, traveling on a crowded train to work, or simply relaxing on your sofa at the end of a long, tiring day, we are incredibly happy that you are here. If you are trying to learn English but you always find it difficult to stick to your study plan, please do not stop listening. To stick to something is a great B1 phrasal verb that means to continue doing something you promised to do without giving up. This episode is exactly what you need today to keep going.
We are absolutely thrilled to walk with you today. To really improve your English and understand real, natural conversations, you do not need a boring grammar textbook right now. You do not need a notebook, and you certainly do not need a pen. Just please put your smartphone safely in your pocket. Relax your shoulders, breathe in the fresh air, look around wherever you are walking, driving, or sitting, and just listen to the beautiful ambient sounds of the city. We are walking together.
Yes, and today we are practicing your English listening skills in a very special, completely different place. We are not looking at the old historic castles today. We are not walking near the ancient, beautiful university buildings surrounded by big groups of tourists. Today, we are walking right next to the Cambridge train station. This is the very modern, highly busy business area of the city. Look at all these huge, stunning glass office buildings completely surrounding us.
Exactly. It's a totally different vibe here in this specific part of town. Did you know that massive global technology companies like Apple, Amazon, and Microsoft have large, extremely important offices right here in Cambridge? The streets are very wide, the architecture is fresh and modern, and there are literally hundreds of bicycles parked neatly everywhere you look.
It is absolutely incredible to see. You can see hundreds of smart, professional people walking around us right now. They are holding their warm morning coffee cups, they're wearing very nice, elegant winter coats, and they're walking quickly and confidently to their busy offices to start their day.
It is a very energetic, very powerful atmosphere. You can truly feel that the people working here are incredibly focused. They have clear goals for the day, they have strict morning routines, they know exactly what they are doing and where they are going.
Yes, and honestly, looking at all these hard-working, highly focused people holding their coffee makes me feel a little bit guilty today. I look at them, walking so fast and with such purpose, and I suddenly feel like I am not doing enough with my own life.
Guilty? That's an interesting word. The word guilty means feeling bad inside because you did something wrong or because you failed to do something you promised to do. Why do you feel guilty today? What exactly happened this morning to make you feel this way?
Well, let me explain the situation. Last night, right before I went to sleep, I made a very strict and ambitious plan for myself. I confidently promised myself, tomorrow morning, you will wake up at exactly 6 a.m. You will put on your comfortable running shoes, you will run outside in the park for 3 kilometers, and then you will come back, take a hot shower, and read a heavy, difficult book in English for 1 full hour.
Wow, that sounds like a truly fantastic, healthy, and highly productive morning plan. I'm very impressed by your ambition. Did you actually do it? Did you manage to run and read?
No, absolutely not. When the loud alarm clock finally rang at 6 a.m., it was totally dark and freezing cold outside my bedroom window. My bed was so warm, so soft, and so incredibly comfortable, so I decided to put off my run. To put off is another excellent phrasal verb. It means to delay doing something until later. I just reached out my hand, quickly turned off the annoying alarm, stayed quietly under my warm blanket, and watched funny cat videos on my phone for 45 minutes straight.
Oh, please, do not feel bad about that at all. I think every single normal person listening to this podcast right now understands that exact feeling perfectly. We've all been there. We all put things off sometimes. And that's exactly why today's main topic is so incredibly important for our English learners. Today, we are talking about discipline.
Ooh, discipline. That is a very scary word for many A2 and B1 English students. When normal people hear the word discipline, they immediately imagine a strict, angry military general shouting at them loudly. They think of difficult army training in the freezing mud and the heavy rain.
Yes, you are completely right. People think discipline means painfully waking up at 4 a.m. every single day of your life, even on Sundays. They think it means eating only dry green vegetables, never touching a piece of delicious sugar, and studying complex English grammar rules for 5 hours a day without ever taking a small break to rest.
But we are here today to tell you and to promise you that this idea is a complete myth. A myth is a false idea. It's a popular story that people believe, but it is simply not true. Real life is not a harsh military camp. Real life is not an action movie where you have to act like an invincible superhero every single day. Real discipline simply means keeping very, very small promises to yourself, even when your motivation is gone.
That is such a great important point. Let's talk about the concept of motivation for a second. Many English learners fall deeply into the motivation trap. They sit patiently and wait to feel excited and energized before they finally open their English books to start studying. They think motivation must always come first.
Yes, but we must understand that motivation is just an emotion. It is just a temporary feeling inside your body, and human feelings change every single day. Sometimes you wake up, the sun is shining brightly, and you feel amazing. You want to conquer the whole world. But on other days, the sky is gray, it's raining heavily, you are very tired from work, and you just want to sleep on the sofa all evening.
Exactly. And you cannot build a strong, safe house on a feeling that changes like the weather. If you only study your English on the rare days when you are highly motivated, you will probably only study once or twice a month. Discipline is the reliable road that gently carries you forward when you have zero motivation left. And that brings us to two very important words: consistency and intensity.
Let's explain those words. Let's start with intensity. Intensity means doing something with a huge, crazy amount of physical or mental energy, but only doing it for a very short period of time. For example, imagine a student who suddenly decides to study English for 10 hours on a Sunday. They drink 5 huge cups of strong black coffee, they study all day long without stopping, and then they completely burn out.
Yes, to burn out is a very common B1 phrasal verb. It means to become totally exhausted because you worked too hard. They fight a massive battle on the weekend, but it ruins their energy. And then what happens? They do not open an English book again for a whole month because their brain remembers exactly how painful and stressful it was.
Consistency is the exact opposite. Consistency means doing something very, very small, but doing it regularly. Like studying English for just 15 short minutes, but sticking to it every single day, from Monday to Sunday, without stopping. Consistency is always, always more powerful than intensity. 15 minutes a day gently builds a strong, permanent new neural pathway in your brain.
But let us be completely honest with our listeners right now. Even 15 minutes can feel very difficult when you come home from a long, stressful day at the office and you're absolutely exhausted. What can our listeners actually do when they want to practice, but they just can't find the energy to start?
I have a fantastic psychological trick for this exact problem. It's a famous idea called the 2-minute rule. It's absolutely perfect for building gentle, easy discipline. The rule says, if you want to start a new, healthy habit, the action must take less than 2 minutes to do. It's just a way to get the ball rolling.
Get the ball rolling. That's a brilliant native idiom. It means to start a process or to begin an activity. But wait, 2 minutes sounds way too easy. You can't learn a complex language in just 2 minutes a day. Give me a practical, real-life example of how this rule actually works.
Okay, imagine your big goal is to read a whole book in English. Do not say to yourself, I will sit down and read for 1 full hour tonight. Your tired brain will look at that big, heavy task and shout, no way, that is too hard. Instead, you use the rule to get the ball rolling. You say, I will read for exactly 2 minutes. I will open the book, read just one single paragraph, and then close it.
Ah, I see the magic now. One short paragraph is so easy. Anyone can read one paragraph, even if they are very tired. It is almost impossible for your lazy brain to say no to that tiny request. And once you read that first paragraph, you usually just keep reading the next one and the next one, because starting the activity is always the hardest part of the process.
Exactly. But let's go even deeper into the psychology for a moment. Let's talk about the science of how human habits actually work inside our busy brains. Every single habit we have is made of 3 important parts: a cue, a routine, and a reward. Let's break those down. A cue is simply a signal. It is a trigger that instantly tells your brain to start doing an action completely automatically.
For example, imagine you just finished eating your warm evening dinner. Finishing the dinner is the cue, and then your brain automatically says, dinner is finished, now it is time for something sweet. So you stand up, walk to the kitchen, open the cupboard, and eat a large, delicious chocolate cookie. That physical action of eating the cookie is the routine.
Exactly right. And the reward is that nice, relaxing, happy feeling you get in your body from the sugar inside the cookie. So the permanent cycle is cue, routine, reward. If you want to cut down on sugar, you cannot just delete the habit. To cut down on something is a phrasal verb, meaning to reduce the amount you consume or do.
Yes, if you want to cut down on bad habits, your brain will fight you. You have to keep the cue, keep the reward, but cleverly change the routine in the middle. Instead of grabbing a sugary cookie, you boil some hot water and make a nice, healthy cup of fruit tea. You still get the reward of a relaxing drink, but you changed the routine.
This is such good, incredibly practical advice. Let's look at this huge Apple office building on our left again. The successful, smart people working inside these big companies probably use these exact psychological strategies every day. And I think discipline is also deeply connected to your mindset. It's about being proactive instead of being reactive.
Those are fantastic, very important vocabulary words. Let's explain them slowly and clearly to our listeners. When you are reactive, it means you wait passively for bad things or problems to happen first, and then you panic. You just react to the chaotic world around you. If you are reactive, you will always fall behind in your work.
Fall behind is another great phrasal verb. It means to fail to do something fast enough or on time. Yes, if you wake up late, suddenly realize you have no clean clothes, and run to the station without eating, you are falling behind. Life is controlling you. You are completely reactive.
But when you are proactive, you take full, confident control of your future. You prepare everything before the problem even happens. You check the weather and neatly choose your clothes the night before. You pack your heavy work bag in the quiet evening, so the next morning you are calm, peaceful, and totally ready to face the day.
Being proactive is basically a beautiful, quiet act of love for yourself. You are making tomorrow much easier for the future version of you. But I have to admit, sometimes my own mind is my biggest enemy. Sometimes I sit down and think, oh, I already know English pretty well. I can speak fine. I don't need to practice today. I'm good enough.
That's your ego talking to you. Ego is that proud, arrogant voice inside your head that constantly says you are already perfect. Your ego makes you lazy. We need the opposite, humility. Humility means you accept the honest fact that you are not perfect yet. You look in the mirror and say, I am good, but I'm still a student and there is always more to learn.
I completely agree with you. And I want to share a very interesting psychological theory with our listeners. Let's look at all these tired office workers walking to the train station right now. When they leave work at 5 p.m., many of them will go straight home, sit heavily on the sofa, and eat unhealthy fast food. Why do intelligent people lose all their discipline in the evening? Is it just because they run out of steam?
To run out of steam is a perfect idiom here. It means to suddenly lose your energy or your motivation to do something. Yes, they run out of steam, but the real reason is fascinating. Famous psychologists say that your human self-control is exactly like the digital battery inside your smartphone.
Think about it like this. In the fresh morning, you wake up after a good long sleep, your self-control battery is at a perfect 100%. You easily eat a healthy breakfast. You focus hard on your difficult work, but every single decision you make, every single time you say no to a temptation, it takes 5% of your battery away.
Oh, I understand completely. So by 7 p.m. in the dark evening, your self-control battery is sitting at 2%. It is flashing red. You have something called decision fatigue. Your brain is simply too tired to make good, healthy choices. And when that internal mental battery is completely empty, you cannot fight temptations anymore.
A temptation is something bad that you really want to do, like eating a huge greasy pizza or watching 5 mindless hours of YouTube videos instead of doing your English homework. So, the practical, real-world lesson here is very clear. Do your hardest, most important tasks in the early morning.
Yes, do your English practice early when your battery is completely full. And it also means you absolutely must rest. Resting is what actually recharges your internal battery. Okay, we are safely crossing a very busy street near the station now. I have one more common problem with discipline to discuss. Sometimes I have too much motivation.
What happens when you have too much motivation? Do you decide to learn Spanish, start running 10 kilometers every day, learn to play the acoustic guitar and read 50 big books all in the exact same month? When you do that, you bite off more than you can chew.
To bite off more than you can chew. That is a brilliant idiom. It means trying to do a task that is simply too big or too difficult for you. If you start 5 new hobbies at once, you will definitely spread yourself too thin. That's another idiom that means trying to do too many things at the same time, so you have absolutely no energy left for any of them.
Exactly. If you have only a tiny small piece of butter and a giant piece of bread, the butter has absolutely no taste. You must learn to focus. Pick one small habit first. But let's be totally honest with our listeners. Even if we focus perfectly, we're human beings and we will fail sometimes. What should a student do when they miss a day of practice?
When you fail, the absolute most important thing is that you must forgive yourself very quickly. Do not sit there feeling guilty and sad for a whole week. You need to bounce back. To bounce back is a lovely phrasal verb that means to recover quickly from a failure or a difficult situation.
Yes, you must bounce back and follow the golden rule for building habits. Never miss twice. Missing one single day is just an accident. Life happens. But missing 2 days in a row is the dangerous start of a brand new bad habit. So, if you were lazy and did nothing on Tuesday, just make absolutely sure that you sit down and practice on Wednesday.
Real discipline is not about being a perfect robot. It's about returning to the right path after you get a little bit lost. Discipline is not a punishment. It's exactly like brushing your teeth. You do it to protect your future smile. Every time you study English today, you are packing a lovely gift for your future self. Discipline is simply love in action.
Discipline is love in action. What a truly beautiful thought to end our walk on today. We are almost at the end of our street, so it is time to say goodbye. Now it is your turn to be proactive. Write a short comment below this video right now. Tell us, What is one small habit you will start this week using the 2-minute rule?
And while you are writing, please let us know what topic you would like us to talk about in our next videos. We want to make episodes that are truly helpful for you. We've promised to read every single comment you write. Thank you so much for walking with us. If this podcast helped you, please subscribe and leave a like. Be very kind to yourself. Remember to bounce back when you fail, and we will see you on our next walk. Bye, everyone.